Shedding light on a growing crisis in southeast Wisconsin, human trafficking.
Many of the young girls who get caught in human trafficking actually stay because they'll also get addicted to heroin.
And one local woman says more must be done to help the victims. Here's the I-Team's Terry.
Carol, adjusting to life after sex slavery is a process for these women. Therapy is a must. But when the Waukesha County woman broke free from her kidnapper, she believes the courts cared more about the conviction than her. We first met Nicole Blight behind bars while in the Waukesha County Jail on multiple shoplifting charges. She stole to feed her drug addiction.
It's really stressful.
She had to face her abductor in court and blames that encounter for her relapse.
It was just such a nightmare.
While holding a homeless sign standing near 15th and Lincoln on Milwaukee's south side, someone snatched Nicole off the streets.
And that's when he ran up on me and grabbed me by my arm.
She ended up at a motel on the south side.
That's when he told me to inject heroin.
And forced Nicole to sell her body for 2 long months.
It was such a horrific thing to go through. Never thought that anything like this would ever happen to me.
Police eventually arrested Micah Reno.
What's the story with this girl?
In this never-before-seen interrogation video obtained by the I-Team, detectives tried to get him to talk about the kidnapping and human trafficking charges.
Was your debit card that was used?
They recovered cell phones, drugs, and mounds of evidence from inside the motel room. But Reno would not admit to anything.
We're talking about kidnapping and human trafficking. I mean, this is way out of my realm.
So they needed Nicole to testify in order to seal the deal. Several months went by before the start of the trial. By then, Nicole was out of rehab. She was clean, back home, and readjusting. But when she took the witness stand and faced her abuser, the 2 days of testimony took a toll on her.
Being on the witness stand, it just made me relive everything.
Nicole relapsed, but this time she was pregnant.
I knew that I wouldn't be able to handle it well. I just didn't know that it was going to go to that extreme.
A jury found Michael Reno guilty. He went to prison. Case closed. But what about the victim? Do you think the courts failed you?
I feel like they could have done something a little more.
As more people come through the courts arrested for human trafficking, attorney Chris Bailey believes the system can't abandon the victims.
It's a need that needs to be addressed.
Bailey believes better preparation and counseling for the young women who help in these convictions is key.
I really wish that at the time these things happen, there was some sort of program in place for people with these issues.
The Milwaukee County DA's Victim Services Director would not talk to the I-Team about Nicole's case, but in a statement said in part, the advocates are very aware and trained in the effects of trauma on victims, and they are also aware that oftentimes testifying can be a real trigger to the victim's trauma. Victims of human trafficking can present multiple and complex problems. The advocates work with the victims to locate resources. Nicole is once again clean, taking one step at a time, hoping the next woman who escapes gets better help than she did.
I got through it. I'm so thankful I got through it.
Now, since Nicole's relapse happened during her pregnancy, there was concern that the child she was carrying could be born addicted to heroin. Her son was born just a few days ago, and thankfully we can report that he is healthy and doing great. Nicole sent me this picture tonight, and while her addiction is a day-to-day process, Nicole tells me that her son is reason enough to never go down that path again.
It would be wonderful to get some kind of help and counseling for those victims, though.
Yes.
Thank you, Jamon.